Welcome to English Echo Stories, where language comes alive through storytelling. Today's episode follows a remarkable woman balancing life, medicine, and motherhood. Let's walk through a day in the life of Dr. Maya El-Khoury, a neonatal specialist. Let's begin. The alarm buzzed at exactly 5:30 a.m., piercing through the gentle stillness of the morning. Dr. Maya El-Khoury stirred awake, her body moving out of habit more than enthusiasm. After over 10 years in the medical field, 7 of them in neonatology, she had grown accustomed to early starts and long days. By 6 a.m., she was already dressed in her light blue scrubs, sipping on a strong black coffee while reviewing the night shift report on her tablet. A few cases had come in overnight, one preterm baby delivered at 30 weeks gestation, another newborn with respiratory distress, and a third admitted due to suspected sepsis. It was a heavy start, but not an unusual one. Her hospital was just 20 minutes away, and she usually used that time to mentally prepare. The car ride was her only window of solitude, a brief pause between her two worlds, the emotionally charged universe of the neonatal intensive care unit and the chaotic warmth of her home, where her own 2 children waited every evening. By 6:45 a.m., she was walking briskly through the hospital corridors, nodding to nurses and technicians already buried in their routines. The NICU was quiet, but that calm could be deceptive. Machines beeped softly, ventilators hummed steadily, and the incubators glowed in a dim, sterile light. Her first task was the morning rounds. Together with a team of residents, nurses, and a respiratory therapist, she assessed each baby's condition in detail. They discussed ventilation settings, feeding plans, medication adjustments, and parental updates. Dr. El-Khoury had to be decisive yet empathetic, methodical but human. Every detail mattered when lives were measured in grams and hours. By mid-morning, after updating electronic records and calling a few parents, she attended a family meeting. The mother of a preemie born at 26 weeks wanted to understand the prognosis. These were the hardest parts of the job. Explaining the unpredictable nature of neonatal development, the risks of brain bleeds, infections, or long-term complications, all while trying to preserve hope, required more than knowledge. It demanded emotional intelligence and grace. At noon, she took a short break in the staff lounge. A banana and another coffee would have to suffice. Eating on the go was second nature by now, as emergencies didn't wait for mealtimes. Just as she was finishing her drink, her pager went off. Code blue in delivery room 4. She dashed off without a word. The baby was born without a heartbeat. Maya's training kicked in like a second skin. Intubation, chest compressions, epinephrine. It took 2 full minutes before the baby let out a faint cry. The relief in the room was palpable, but Maya didn't relax until the newborn was stable in the NICU under careful watch. By 3 p.m., she was in a teaching session with interns, explaining the intricacies of neonatal thermoregulation and the challenges of managing hypothermia in low birth weight infants. Her passion for teaching was evident even after 10 hours on her feet. She believed knowledge shared was a life saved. At 5 p.m., she wrapped up her clinical notes and prepared the handover for the night team. Though the day had been filled with high-stakes decisions, tense conversations, and emotionally charged moments, she never let it show. Professional composure was her armor. By 6 p.m., she was finally back in her car. The transition from NICU to mom mode took effort, but the voice of her 6-year-old daughter screaming "Mommy" as she entered the house always made it easier. Dinner was already being prepared by her husband, who worked remotely. Between spoonfuls of rice and roasted chicken, she listened as her son shared his day at school and her daughter complained about a lost toy. By 8 p.m., it was bath time, story time, and finally bedtime. After the kids were tucked in, Maya sat in the living room with a warm tea in hand. It was quiet again, but this quiet felt different. It wasn't sterile or clinical. It was the peaceful silence of home. She checked her emails one last time, responded to a message from a colleague about a follow-up echocardiogram, and reviewed the next day's on-call schedule. By 10 p.m., she was in bed, exhausted but content. She had held life in her hands, literally and metaphorically, throughout the day. She had fought for fragile lives and then come home to the vibrant energy of her own family. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, but for now she closed her eyes, grateful for both the lives she saved and the life she had built. Thank you for listening to today's episode. Brought to you by English Echo Stories, period. Join us next time for another immersive journey, designed to inspire your English and your life, period. Until then, stay curious and keep learning, period.